88.5 Soufriere FM. It's now 7 minutes after the hour of 10 a.m. in Soufriere St. Lucia, of course, the Eastern Caribbean. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am excited to have with me Mr. Richard Jean Goofy. Everybody know you as Goofy, the field officer for the Soufriere Explosion Calypso tent. I must say the excitement is building as we were supposed to have had our showdown on the 26th and to allow room for improvements,
yes, improvement
rehearsals, and artist development, and to give you guys in Soufriere a spectacular show. We've decided to put it to August.
in the middle of August.
In the middle of August. With that being said, good morning unto you.
Good morning.
How do you feel this morning?
I am alive and I'm happy to be here to share the information from the Calypso tent. Hope that the public are listening and they will come to support when a date is put out and make the artists feel welcome.
Okay. Coming out of that Calypso tent last year into this year 2025, and having you as an addition to that, how do you really feel being on board with us?
I am excited. I did see, I was not part of the planning committee or I was not at the stadium, but I did see the performance and I was impressed with the young, especially I feel there were two, I don't know them, but there were two guys, Jim Movie and another guy, and they were really vibrant, they were alive, and I guess as time goes by and as the tent grows bigger and we come up with more ideas of how to make Soufriere Calypso tent bigger, not as big as take over tent or all of those tents in catchphrases, but as we can match them somehow along the line a few years.
Definitely. And with you as the field officer, I mean, what would be your key responsibilities leading up to that big competition?
Well, I'm tasked with, first of all, making sure that artists and the tent overall has everything it's need. Like example, we get in the sponsorships, we get artist songs, and the rehearsals goes smoothly, and there is absolutely no hurdle that we left behind to cause any interruption in the show or to make the show less exciting as it should be.
I'm very happy you spoke of hurdles. As of anything else, sometimes it is impossible not to have hurdles, and it's taking those and running with it and improving the product.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, if anything that you're involved in, especially organizations or teams, you will find little frictions here and there. But like you said, it is only right that the team members and everybody involved come together and realize that there is only one goal, and that is the execution of whatever tasks ahead.
Curiosity builds, and of course, the audience keenly anticipating what will unfold in August.
I don't like to drop, any hints or surprises yet, but I can assure you that it will be something worth watching, not on TV, but at the stadium, because you'll be required to wave, jump, and do everything that soccer involves.
Just a bit of correction. I think it's really unfolding at the St. Isidore's Hall.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not at the stadium due to, again, like you said, we're supposed to have it in this month, actually next weekend. But due to circumstances that beyond our control, we are forced to push it in August, which we haven't had a date yet. But the St. Isidore Hall, and I promise you, despite the fact that it will be there, it will still be as exciting as it was or as it would be in the stadium.
And with that, we definitely want to make an appeal for persons to purchase the tickets if need be as early as possible.
Yeah, I feel tickets are out already. You can get them from the artists. The tent manager should have it as A.G. Simpson. I have not any in my possession yet, but if you are interested in purchasing tickets, you can also contact me and I can get it for you. They're only 25 easy dollars.
Only, I'm really
Only.
happy you said that. And persons who would have attended the show last year can also see the likes of All Mix,
Jalaki,
Jalaki,
Chris,
the famous Abbas,
Gasper,
to left foot Casper.
and J Movie as well. And yeah, Sexy J was an upcoming young lady who shows interest and a lot of commitment. She has, I must say, she shows commitment. She's all the way in Rockland, not in Belfast, somewhere around there. And she makes sure she's at rehearsals every time there is rehearsals on time. So kudos to her. She shows interest and she is passionate about that. So she is one to look also forward to.
Definitely. We have Kenty Benty as well.
Yes, the famous event is also there. And I must say, at the rehearsals, he brings it on. I hope that he doesn't get cold feet and he doesn't he sells himself short on the night, but I guess he records himself every day at practice and I guess he has his following, so look out for Katie Benty.
Definitely. And I think the excitement to Billy, knowing that all the artists bring something different to the stage, they're
Yeah.
unique product.
Yeah.
We have the likes of J Birds as well, who will be joining.
Yeah.
We have Lyrical Taj as well, who will be joining this Calypso competition. And I think the battle is a lot fierce than it was last year because everybody's coming to, I want to take that home. And from what we've seen behind the scenes in terms of rehearsals, I think Olmec definitely has a strong presence there. Kimbert as well, for sure, and Carissa. So it's really tight.
And like you said, at rehearsals, you cannot keep your eye on your one person. When you think, okay, you heard the best, then another artist comes and they surprise you. So, like you said, the competition is very fierce. I don't know who the judges are yet, but they do have a very difficult job at hand. And again, I just play to the public to come out and support the artists. It's the second year. You will not expect to see real groovy powers of Amola activities as yet. I say yet because I believe that the tent is growing and will grow as the years go by. But come out and support our local artists and give them the support and encourage them to do more.
I'm trying to share the live.
At this moment, let's pay homage to the founder, Mr. E.G. Simpson. Without his input and not, let's give him his flowers. It is his brainchild. So definitely we need to carry on that legacy.
Yes, a huge applause for Mr. Simpson.
Definitely.
I haven't heard about Calypso for as long as I am alive. And and I mean I heard about, like you said, Abbas and Gaspar, but that maybe when I was a very toddler, my dad was. But growing up now, big man, I haven't heard, but I give him all the credit. And he is also one of those persons who takes this tent serious. He pulls artists up, he pulls executive members up when he feels it lacking. He's the one in this condition that goes to the all tent running, and you must show appreciation for that because he could have sent any one of us, the young vibrant members, but he chose to do it, and that shows commitment. And yeah, I think he mentioned that Calypso was there in Super for 21 years or something like that, and he's the one for that, and Doc is going to be the second year running. Hopefully, God gives him the strength and the grace to be here longer and pass on his knowledge to any one of us who are members of the tent, so we could execute and maybe implement our own style and make this tent grow bigger and bigger.
I agree with you 100% on that one. And this is why we're actually seeing the inclusion of having young persons. I mean, like Crystal in the forefront as well. I mean, even you as the field officer, welcome on board as well to with your expertise. We definitely believe that the tent can grow, not just the tent, but even the artist can
Artists.
grow individually from strength to strength. Somebody did ask, are persons allowed to attend the rehearsals behind, the scenes?
I would welcome that as well, as long as they're um, quiet and they don't be disrespectful to the artists. I will welcome members of the public to attend rehearsals. I think the first time I attended rehearsals, my stepdaughter was with me. She was excited to go to. She wanted to sing too, and I told her she had to be quiet because it's going to be the rehearsals. And every time she asks me, "Are you going to go to rehearsals?" I said, "No, not today. I'm at work." So yeah, we are opening, like I said, given that the public or the persons who attend the rehearsals are quiet and not disrespectful to the artists.
Definitely. With that being said, what are you looking forward to the most? I know with those different shows, we tend to look at the props, what props are you actually going to bring in to demonstrate, your various portrayals. For example, we've seen the G movie and that collab he has with Sexy G. I think it's a hot one,
Yeah.
definitely. It is really sad that it's not happening to just jump straight into Juve. The people would have really
Yeah,
enjoyed that
exactly. I was
thing.
looking forward to that.
Yes, but he has something going on and he needs to. We were supposed to have had him this morning and maybe he'll join us in the latter. But kudos to J Movie or Movie Boy as he calls himself from Diamond, taking the time to reach out to Diamond as well too. Good morning to you guys. Like you made mention, with such hiatus and actually having a reintroduction of Calypso as we saw that last year. Why do you really think that there's that great importance of presence to have it back, in the current scene?
I will speak personally from my own internal point of view. I grew up liking Calypso, to be honest. I grew up liking, there's one of my favorite Calypso of all times from Hubla, a tourist group, Masha, a tourist, I can't remember the exact word, but Masha passed there, and the way Phil and John came out and talked, like Masha is a place where no tourists should go. That's one of my, I cannot remember the exact lines, but that was one of, and that made me like Calypso. I was like, yo, like something Jada, and a lot of like Mighty Pep, and I was like, yo, like maybe I should listen to a Calypso because I feel I mentioned to you, Kabrina, that I would try to turn one of my poetry pieces into a song. I know that might be far fetched, but I mean with the right tools and you know skills needed, I'm sure that I can in the near future I can write a few kind of songs and bring it to compete on the bigger stage.
I definitely agree with you on that. And if you really start the groundwork now, who knows, next year you're going to be the next big thing for Surf Explosion.
Well, that's part of the plan. But once I'm there with the support of Mr. Simpson, Krista, and the executive members, my focus is to whatever we do to make it have value. We don't do just anything like wash and be content with it. I'm not the one who's content with mediocre stuff. I like to see if I'm doing anything for anybody, I like that to see that it's worth the money, especially from our public. Our public will crucify us if you know we give them and something that's not worth the money. So that's why I am pleading with the public that to pay patience with the artists. They are most of them is the first year and some have been there last year. But like I said, it's a process that that takes time is development. And like I said, I promise you that as long as the tent is there, we will make sure that the artists grow together with the tent.
Okay. Not just straying from our discussion, but since Mr. Soufriere is there with us as well, maybe just pausing in terms of the Calypso tent and whatnot. Were you at last year's showing?
No,
No.
I was in Georgia at that time. Remember, I took vacation. I was out.
Okay. Are we or should we expect to see you sometime in August? Definitely.
When is that scheduled? When is that scheduled it for?
Well, we were supposed to have had the Calypso competition on the 26th. We realized, I think, the time is a bit limited for us given the work that has to be put in rehearsals and a few crossing the T's and dotting the I's. So we move it to August, which will enable more time for a greater execution.
Early August or late August?
Mid-August.
Yeah, because I know most times Calypso always come before Carnival, like leading into Carnival.
Yes, that was the plan to actually have it there. But
Of
there
course.
are always hiccups, as we go along. But then we're looking to enhance that product and put in something spectacular out there.
Well, this year I think I have ample time.
And I mean, your ears, I'm sure, would
I
have
know.
been familiar with Abbas and Gaspar.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys are really seasoned.
Yeah.
So we believe
I feel like one of these
legacy
people,
should
Abbas.
be maybe carried on and have a lot of young people, because what we've seen with Junior Calypso, it is something that we can actually have right here in Soufriere as well.
You're right.
With nurturing the talents.
We start from the schools as that's some that was a conversation we had that maybe after this then we're done with the show. Our next aim is to try to go to the schools, bring the artists to the schools and have a local competition again among the schools. We have in the schools, we have the special ed, we have the primary school, we try to involve everybody, the Bhutan, exams, and make it a local thing and who knows, from there we bring them, they will be part of the tent, and then like last, I think nationally there is a school competition.
Yes.
We could have more than one person representing District 8. So yeah, that's something that we're going to be definitely working on after the show.
I agree with that as well. And I think something else we need to look at in terms of, let's not wait last minute for rehearsals and getting the pool of artists together, but right after the competition, we need to start looking at the creatives that we're going to be putting out next year, working on the different pieces. And what we fail to do is have events to build that community awareness and also build artist profiles. So we need to do a lot of that.
Yeah, I agree with you. Currently, the artists, part of our plan, the plan to give the artists exposure, what we decided to do at every location that there is karaoke, to allow the artists to make the content known publicly to the public. So I feel tonight they will be at the Containers Bar. So I urge
Tonight?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Thursday, right there.
so first day's karaoke at
Yes,
the
yes, yes.
Container. So I urge the public and I urge the artists. Tuesday night, I'm not sure if they did went to Reynolds Bar, but it was supposed to start at the Reynolds Bar, and then it's like a train, so we go to the Continent tonight. Like I said, I urge the public to come out and give the artists a listen here, and the artists themselves to show what the public should expect, come August, mid-August.
Definitely, and even in the latter, with those different pop-ups for them, they could get to indulge the crowd with, little giveaways. They can maybe give a free 1 or 2 free tickets based on questions. How well do you know your artist, or your community? Even injecting from last year who won and the placements and the
Yeah.
different things, just to keep them knowledgeable.
You're right, and I feel moving forward as the day gets closer. Like I said, it's not only a one-time thing. So we look to every opportunity. Like I said, we started the karaoke locations, but any any other opportunity that presents itself, where the artists can come out and display their talent, we will be sure that they will be there to get to know them. We're even thinking closer to the day, maybe have like a little mini show where all the artists meet you with them, you could, get to know them personally, hear the songs, the content, and then get ready for the big day.
With that being said, it is 28 minutes after the hour of 10 a.m. in Soufriere Solution Eastern Caribbean. I think it's fair enough now to make the apology for our artist. Circumstances beyond his control, and he wasn't able to join us here. But nonetheless, before the competition, that is, you will hear the likes of a few of our artists from the Calypso tent. As a field officer, what would you say your greatest challenges are, within that camp?
Well, it has to be the planning and the organizing of the show. Everything you do, especially like that. I must be say kudos to the foundation. They have really poured into us. They really supported us. But I guess it's getting sponsorship. A little. That's why like you mentioned, it's not always wise to depend on sponsorships. It's the company themselves was supposed to raise funds like whatever barbecues and doing stuff. But again, time and I don't know, maybe life, because everybody has a different choice of life, children, school, work. So, things didn't go as planned. But moving forward, we promise that, we learn from our mistakes and then we correct those little errors that we made along the way. But it has to be, it is challenging, but I promise you that we will execute it and give you a good show.
As you made mention, obligations, responsibilities, and time is always an essence as well. Any final words for the public? I mean, supporters of Soufriere Explosion?
It's just one thing. I just would like to make a special plea to the community and those from the outer space closer, so they come support. I mean, you won't be disappointed. I've been at rehearsals. I see the excitement. I see the passion that the artists put in to make sure that they give a good show. So I just encourage the public to, like I said, the tickets are out already. You can contact Mr. Simpson or myself if you need any tickets. It's only $25 PC. The show is supposed to be held at the St. Isidore Hall. So come out and support your local artists.
Any final words or comments? It's exactly 10:30 a.m.
Well, I'd just like to thank you for the opportunity to market the tent. Like it's unfortunate that when our artists could not be with us, it would have been nice for him to give a little sample to the public as to what you would expect come August. That's why I am grateful for the opportunity to speak about this show and the tent and what the public will look forward to.
Definitely, and we're looking to on this platform from today up until the competition. You will hear more from the artists behind the scenes, of course, and engaging you, our listeners, and also giving you an opportunity to win yourself free tickets.
That's right.
Immense pleasure, Mr. Shaw, as always.
Thank you.
Looking forward to seeing you later at the Container Bar and also making an appeal for the artists to come out tonight at the Container Bar. Get your pieces out there. Let it fall on listening as audiences, and who knows, the people's choice or the people's favorites might just be.
Yeah, like I said, the artists, they're all very exciting, so you won't have to fix your eyes on one person, so you can look out for hopefully that they show up and look out for the content.
Very definitely so. And I'm really happy you spoke about behind the scenes for sure because it is quite something, with behind the scenes. And even when you get home, sometimes you hear those like lyrics playing in your head.
Yeah.
Like
I do record like
we,
just before I have to say I do record
yeah.
the first night I Jim moves, I don't want to put it out there, but his song was catching. I'm from the rehearsals hall to my room. That was the only song that was and I was like, that has a vibe to it. And again, if he continues practicing and if he continues developing his content and his, a reason to how to perform, how to hold him like the stage, use the stage, he would definitely be a contender.
Yes, and that was the conversation I had this morning as well. So he has a vibe, and I see, there has been a lot of improvements working with him behind the scenes, even coming to record from our end. So now a lot has changed with him. The maturity is there, the energy. He looks like he's really hungry for it for sure. And if he puts everything in place, who knows, he can be, that king. And we must commend his efforts as well, seeing him participating in the country Soca Monarch as well, and making it thus far, also Chris as well. The talents that there, they just really need nurturing. And even, Kenty Binti has a vibe as well. We must admit, though he's on a level, but then we must admit that proud Lucian with his St. Lucian flag as well. And taking those lyrics, you just sit back and like whine and go down and whine and come up and So it is something to definitely look forward to come August. Kudos to all the artists, kudos to the executive as well. We look forward to executing a great show 2025. Thank you so much to the listening audience, and of course those of you who are online. We want to say thank you for that first fold of our house guests, and of course it's the 17th day of July 2025. Up next, I'm supposed to have Big Vibe, a continuation of our last session. And not forgetting 11 a.m. as well, I have Pamela Carnival Band moving strong 2025. I tell you the thing what so just stay locked with it.
Optimum Events brings the heat with Radiance. Radiance! The all-inclusive breakfast fed at Mon Cubarella Estate in Soufriere.